Hello there, good afternoon, blessed beings. This is Bless. Yeah, a dog. Sorry about that. So, okay, I'm gonna talk about how I understand LNK or Lihim na Karunungan. Okay, one moment, please. Okay, I'm back. I'm gonna talk about how do I understand the history of Lihim na Karunungan. There are different sects of Lihim na Karunungan, and of course, it's a path of magic and mysticism in the Philippines. So, as a Filipina myself, I'm surprised to see that not a lot tried to make a research about Filipino magic and mysticism. Why am I talking about LNK first? Because it's the type of magic tradition, ancient Filipino magic tradition that I've been practicing right now. Okay? So, ancient Filipino magic is very much obscure. And knowing that not a lot make a research about it, it's quite disappointing. But that's okay. At least I get to talk about it. So what is Lihim na Karunungan? What is LNK? And now it's also being called the Filipino esoteric art. As you can see, as you all know, the Philippines has been a former colony of Spain for 333 years. No wonder if you're gonna visit there, you would see that the surnames of the people are in Spanish, like Rodriguez, Legazpi, Reyes, something like that. Okay? And the Spaniards brought to us Catholicism. And at that time, the Filipinos were babaylans, were pagans and animists of their in their own way, and also some were Hindu Buddhist. They were wondering how would they incorporate the Catholic pantheon in their magical practice, and therefore LNK was born. Lihim na Karunungan was born. So it is babaylanistic or shamanistic and mystic in a way, but it's their own method of Catholic magic. It's our own method of Catholic magic, and at the same time, it's still Babaylanism in a way. It's still Diwataan in a way. It's just that the pantheon is just different. Why do I love working with LNK? First and foremost, the rituals may not be easy. In fact, it's tedious because most of the rituals are required to be done in 49 days, 49 consecutive days. And if you miss one day, you will be obliged to start from day one. And it always starts on the first Friday of the month. So they have a lot of very potent and very powerful protection spells, most especially if it concerns spiritual protection. And I've tried and tested it, and it works. It's a system of magic that works. So, can foreigners learn LNK? The answer is yes. And it's still highly recommended for you to have an advisor, a master who is who can give you advice regarding the way you work with LNK, because as you've seen last time in my videos about the Anting and the Mutyas. You know, the difference between the Mutyas and the Antings is that the Mutyas have elemental spirits living within them, while the Antings, you are required to, cast a spell on them or charge them with certain incantations, spells, and prayers within 49 consecutive days, starting at the first Friday of any month, just for it to be inhabited by a very powerful protective celestial spirit. And LNK is rich in protection, exorcism, and protection spells, exorcism spells, return to sender spells, or what they so-called revuelta, and curse removal. They're very well known for their curse removal spells. There are some practitioners who put an end to the abusive, baneful magician who is disturbing or who is giving their patient pain. And there are some who give second chances. So that's why I was very much hesitant to talk about it at first, because most especially the advanced practitioners of LNK, we so-called the the Antingeros, the Antingeras, the Manggagamot. Antingero or Antingera. Antingero is a male, Antingera is a female. From the root word anting means someone who specializes in the use of antings to exact a specific magical act. Okay, that's how I defined it. Or the Manggagamot from the root word gamot, which means medicine. Okay, the Manggagamot means if you're someone who is a Manggagamot, you are a healer. Okay, you work with the healing magic, healing magical arts. Okay, so this is what I love about LNK, is that it's very much effective in terms of protection. You know, we all know that there are quite a lot of people who are abusive nowadays, who would insist their free will and who would power trip on others. So most especially if you're a spiritual type of a person, it's very basic, yet it's extremely important to focus on protection magic first and foremost. Because we know that not a lot of people are decent, not a lot of people are kind. In fact, quite a lot are abusive. So it's kind of awkward for me to talk about it because not just Filipino magic, but Southeast Asian magic and Asian magic in general is they're weird. But one of my instructors told me that it's not weird, it's just the way it is. Okay, they have it, I won't say the term weird, but it's unique, very much unique, because they have their own methods of doing things to exact a specific manifestation when it comes to working with magic. LNK also has a lot of healing magic, protection, even wealth, and they're also known for their gayuma or love magic as well, and also wealth gayuma. I've already talked about gayumas on my one of my former videos, so if you want to learn more about gayumas, please check that out. So they also use the powers of herbs. They use potions to, you know, either attract someone to love or also attract wealth. Okay, we have a lot of wealth magic, we have a lot of love magic, and most of all we have a lot of protection magic, exorcism, curse removal, and also magical dueling, or what we so call spiritual combate, where the advanced level Manggagamot would you know, duel with the baneful magician who is making his or her patient suffer, who is bringing suffering to the patient of the Manggagamot or of the healer. And we also use herbal magic, and I've decided to talk about this first because this is the kind of like the baby. To me, Lihim na Karunungan or LNK is the baby of Catholicism and Babaylanism. Okay, thanks to the Spaniards who invaded the Philippines, LNK was born. Okay, because until now I'm a type of practitioner who inclines more on the Eastern esoteric than the West, although I practiced both. And that's why I think it's not good to be abusive with magic. It's just my opinion. It's not just because of karma. It's because of the existence of anti-baneful magicians. That's why I think also humility is very much important when it comes to practicing magic. And that's why I believe also that if one is going to practice magic, he or she should be of service to humanity instead of being a nuisance and a power trip to other people by means of being abusive with their power and by means of imposing their will on others, because you will always encounter someone who is way more powerful than you. That's why, to me, it's very much important to be humble and to be kind. Just help other people. Okay? I'm not someone who is a right-hand path. I'm just someone who is following the middle path because I acknowledge my dark side. Like each and every one of you guys, I'm only human. I'm not perfect. I acknowledge my dark side. I'm not 100% love and light. If I need to show my dark side just to repel my enemies, I will. If I need to show my dark and you know, scary side, I will. Because I'm only human like you guys. My patience is limited. Anyway, let's go back to the topic. So as long as you're persevering, I think, but in both, as long as you're persevering in magic, and if you resonate with it, if you're drawn to it, and if you have the sincere intention to help other people, it's not it's to the point where it's not just for personal gain. Of course, you can practice either LNK or Baba Ism. Can you be an eclectic practitioner of LNK or Baba Ism? The answer is yes, of course, but it's still an advantage to be at least to have a master who's giving you an advice if you're not in a group, because I'm an eclectic when it comes to practicing LNK, but I get advice from different masters still, and I ask questions how to do certain magic, especially if it concerns protection and whatnot, and then they continue to give me their advice and wisdom on how to work with it. So yeah, and what else? As long as you resonate with the archangels, and if you resonate with the Catholic pantheon, of course, it's a great magic to practice. It's a great type of magic and spirituality and mysticism to practice. So I'm a big fan of LNK, and I will continue to practice it. And I highly appreciate LNK. Okay, because I've tried and tested it, and it's continuing to work for me. So if you want to you know, if you want to learn more about it, you can just ask a legit master of LNK. And to me, learning Tagalog at least is an advantage, because most of the spells of LNK are Latin, Spanish, Tagalog, Creole. Okay, you don't need to be you don't need to be fluent in Tagalog or in Filipino, but it's an advantage if you at least understand Tagalog or Filipino. Okay, so that's why I think it's also very much important to be humble as a magic practitioner, and really harm none. It's just my opinion, but if you don't resonate with my opinion, that's absolutely fine. Just be respectful, okay? Because there are magic practitioners who really are you know, who really hate abusive, baneful magicians. There's nothing wrong with baneful magic, don't get me wrong, as long as it's being used in the right, you know, in the right place, if there's a valid reason. However, if they find out that you're being abusive with it, then you know that what's gonna happen to you. Because there are also quite a lot of paths who you know, who specializes in, you know, if they need to stop an abusive, baneful magician, they will. Most especially in Asia. So Asia in general, not just in the Philippines. But that's why I was very much hesitant to talk about it. But at least I said the truth. I said the reality about Asian magic, particularly ancient Filipino magic. That if you're going to be doing baneful magic in my own country, you better make sure that you're prepared to face the consequences. It's not because of karma. It's because there are a lot of I'm gonna say the truth. There are quite a lot of LNK practitioners who are more than determined to destroy abusive, baneful magicians, and they won't even be afraid if they need to. If they won't even hesitate to put an end to abusive, baneful magicians. That's why even if you live as a person, you don't need to be you don't even need to be a magical practitioner to know this. Just be humble and kind, okay? Just be humble and kind to everyone, okay? And harm none. Probably if only there's if only there's an English version of the ritual, probably I would show it. But you know, at least I've said what I think is true on my end. based on my observations, based on my experiences as well. So that's it about what is LNK for me, and what's my point of view about magic as well. There's nothing wrong with baneful magic as well, as long as if you're not being abusive with it and if you're not harming innocent people. Thank you very much for watching. Have a magical afternoon full of blessings, and good luck. Blessed be. Bye!